at those teeth. So cute. I need to do laundry, and then I need to see Copenhagen. Those are my plans for the day. Laundry time. Alright, we're ready to go. I'm just gonna try a backpack today. I need to work on my diet. I'm still... Anyway, I have a feeling I'm gonna regret this because I hate walking with backpacks, but maybe it'll be less cumbersome than the... We're just gonna try it. Are you ready? I changed my mind almost immediately. Really what did it was the thought of carrying the cameras and having them swinging from the body. I feel like it puts pressure on the lens mount. But it's also just so nice to not have anything on your back. For me, I know some people like backpacks. From what I've been told, it's like tradition post-graduation from high school. That looks like an entire building clad in copper. Amusement park, right in downtown Copenhagen, right near the city center. It looks like they're dismantling this building. Maybe it burned. But you see the big wooden timbers right there? Looks like they're taking them out. Some old ones. And then they're shoring up the building using these shipping containers with metal poles attached to the exoskeleton. And then building an interior exoskeleton. That is a heck of a project to save that building. It does look like it burned. Those are definitely charred timbers right there. Okay, apparently it burned down in April, so pretty recently. What do you think of all the honking? Pretty obnoxious, huh? Not all of the building burned, but unfortunately the most famous part did. They had a spire that looked like soft serve ice cream, but if you look close, it was 4 dragons' tails spiraling up to a point. That was its most famous feature, and that was lost in the fire. So. Okay, I'll admit that's really pretty. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Nyhavn, N-Y-H-A-V-N. Pretty famous area. I've met 2 people here in Denmark. 1, Oscar, the guy who's let him use his apartment. And 2, another guy who was just talking to us outside a grocery store yesterday. And they both recommended this place as the first thing out of their mouth. They're like, if you're gonna see one thing in Copenhagen, we recommend Christiania. You can see it right there. It was formerly a military fort that was abandoned for decades, apparently. Then in the 70s, it got taken over by an artistic, hippie community. They've turned it into what it, I think, still is now. You can definitely tell it's an old military base, which is pretty cool. It's clearly been a long time. A lot of other structures have sort of popped up over the decades, I imagine. Most of these military buildings are occupied, but a few of them look like they're not. But I just don't understand this place. I guess it just doesn't fit into any of the paradigms I understand a society by. Do they own it? Does the community own it? Do individuals own the condos? Do individuals own the buildings? Is it a co-op? Is it collective? I don't understand how it works. And maybe I shouldn't try to understand. Maybe that's doing it wrong. Maybe the whole point of it being like an artist commune is that it's incomprehensible. But I feel like human nature eventually would get in the way of just like a completely collective community experience, because some people are greedy and they tend to mess up utopias. Utopias don't really work out very often, at least that's what I gather. Maybe I'm ignorant. What do you guys think that building is? This is not rhetorical. You need to answer. I'll overlay a map on the screen. The Christiania is really long and skinny, and then there's actually like a canal that runs through it, and then there's a second skinny island, and then like a moat on the side of that. I'm on the second skinny island. I love hard painted lines like that. Did you ask? No. Did I tell you anyway? Yep. So we're kind of making a loop. We went up one skinny side, then down the other skinny side, and then right at the entrance there's like a big square portion of the built up area. And I think that's where most people sort of interface with Christiania. And the rest of it is kind of like its suburbs. I did meet one guy, his name's Kim, and he said he's trying to move here. So that was cool to see somebody with kind of an inside track. I was like, so how does it work? The things I was previously talking about, how I was confused by. Oh, purple, so pretty. And he's like, it's very confusing. I was like, is there like a collective that owns it? And he was like, yeah, sort of. I don't know. I didn't get a ton of answers, but at least I'm not the only one that's confused. Also, this is making, like, I should be not this puffy for walking while I do, so I am swearing off fast food for now. I'm gonna try at least. Look how artsy that is with the light hitting the plant. I think this is a remnant of the fort, because I think that body of water and the body of water on the other side of this skinny little bit of land were kind of like this, because this used to be a military fort. So I think this used to be part of the defensive things. It's triangular, and it just looks like them. Now it's been converted into what looks like a dwelling, because that's probably a kitchen. Look at those cool exposed beams on the inside. Hope this is the content you're into, because reflection of what I like, I guess. I don't know if that necessarily makes good content, but whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to take a picture of that cool light in that window. Follow me on Facebook so you can see the cool pictures I take. Most of you probably already do, because more people follow me there than here. By a fair number, like 5,000 times 20. Annetta, I almost missed this right here. This unassuming concrete pad was the old execution site for, they would kill, I think she said at the end, Annetta, I was walking away and she's like, did you know that there's something relevant over here? She was really friendly about it. At the end of World War II, there was just a small wooden building here, and they would shoot prisoners just inside the building. They would just shove them in there and then shoot them in. That's kind of morbid, but obviously part of history and therefore fascinating. So I imagine this little grate right here was to drain blood. Here's a similar building. These ones has slits all along it. I can't tell if that's because there used to be boards, like floorboards, what are those called? Or if it was like for defensive purposes, like you could stick a gun out of it. I'm having a hard time telling. I'm also having a hard time standing. Jack's trying to trip me actively. Now look at those tiny little glass windows they have in there. That's cute. This graffiti is quite good. It makes me think it's intentional. It's part of it. We're back near Christiania, the main hub, and it's just sort of like indicative of the artistic community that lives inside. And look at these cool, like little, I don't know, things that they've shunted on top of these military buildings. Every time I see something interesting, I have to decide whether I film it or take a picture of it or both, and then, I don't know, I'm just bad at this. I have to admit, I'm surprised by the clarity of this water. To my eye, it looks even more clear, but that's stuff lying on the bottom. I wonder if I put my sunglass over the lens, because it's polarized. Maybe you can see a little bit better, or a little bit worse, either way. Pretty. Take me home, driver. That's where the party's at. I'm missing out. I don't know how to party, to be honest. We're gonna go see a castle. Two pieces of news, one good, one bad. Good one is I'm getting less and less repelled, except for when I do that, by my bare face every time I look at the camera, so that's good. Bad news is it took us kind of a while to walk to like the downtown area where all the cool stuff is, arguably cool stuff. It's not that far to his house, but when you're walking, it's an hour plus. I kind of want to take night photography shots because I like that, but then I'd have to walk back even later. You can't tell right now because it looks like it's daylight, but it's 10 p.m. We're already sort of running on a little bit of the fumes concept. We're back here. I still find that sad, but who wouldn't, right? It's not like I'm unique in that. Amazing detail. I definitely read that at first as secret comrade, like sacred, you know, there was no need to explain that further. Earlier, I was describing the famous spire that burned down. That is a statue of that spire. See the little dragon claws with the snow cone, soft serve ice cream on top? I'm not sure why there's two upside down spires underneath this guy, but that's it. I don't know what this building is. I'm sure it's some government function. But there's a little crown at the top. There's actually a way to get up there. I saw a guy do it on the internet once. I don't think they'll let me do it though. I noticed you can go inside kind of. At least there's a portal. This is what the inside portion of this building looks like. It's very nice. Doors, more doors, doors. course, and not the ones from Lord of the Rings. In my first ever video, I did a bunch of side videos like this, and then I stitched them together so you could just like do. I feel like this would have been a good candidate for one of those. If only I'd kept doing it. Should have. You learn over time. My plan was to walk home. It's almost 4 miles. It's 3.8. Tempted to like figure out the metro system so that tomorrow we can stay later and not feel so rushed. Tomorrow will be our last day. Might do that. This was the right call. Pretty tired. It's nice. Comfy. Look at this cute system we got worked out. Jack is on my lap. I'm sitting on like the curb, and he's got the rest of his butt in there. It's a pretty good system. It's working out pretty well. We're just waiting for the bus since we missed our last one. Another day headed to Copenhagen. This time we're going to take a bus into town so we don't waste as much time walking there. It's our last day. Hi, Jack. We're waiting for a bus, and then we're going to take the metro. Did you know that? Did you know that? You don't care. You don't care, do you? I think that's our bus. Another full day. Okay. Been here before, accidentally overshot our stop by 1, but who cares? Nobody. Gonna try and see some stuff we haven't seen before. That's our whole plan. It's actually my whole plan of the whole trip, but usually that involves a few more details. Look at this fairly unassuming house. It's just got flowers on the railing, little doors over the balcony. Can you imagine waking up and that's your view just all the time? Just look out your window, you're like, oh yeah, our house sucks. Just kidding, that's a cute house. That's an insane piece of engineering and architecture. It's called Frederick's Church. Rich people used to really take all of the stuff back in the day. Oh wait, they still do. Something's happening. Got me so tough. So you're allowed to go inside for free. Backwards of this way out here. I was only in there for 2 minutes. But then there's a sign that said if you want to visit the dome, there's tours every day at 1 p.m. Max 15 people. The price is 50 Danish crowns, which is like $7. Suspiciously cheap. Rumors are true. There's people up there. Dog. Hey Jack, are you ready? We've been taking a break for what, 20 minutes now? 30? I've heard of this one. There's a spiral ramp all the way to the top. And I think it's old. Aren't I so good at this? I'm not. Oh man, oh well. I'm trying. Progress.
Don't save you. The system we know will discontinue.
It's not even 9:30. I think we're gonna head home. I'm pretty tired. Are you happy to be off your leash? Are you happy to be off your leash? Yeah, you are. You are a happy boy. You're a happy boy. Walking around downtown Copenhagen, there's way too many people and too many little restaurants, you know, where they're eating outside, and he would definitely go up and just talk to them, say hi, you know. So he's been on leash all day for pretty much the last 2 days. Most of the time when we're walking, he's not, because we're just by ourselves. So he's pretty excited. Are you excited? Are you excited? Are you excited? Are you excited? If I had to guess, I'd say someone needs to pee. Okay. Today's the day we leave Copenhagen. Actually, the weather's pretty nasty right now, but that's okay. Maybe it'll clear up by the time I finish packing, taking a shower, and just cleaning up his place a little bit to make sure we leave it in a good place. Update, it is 11:50 a.m., so it's been a few hours, and the rain has not stopped for even half a second. Could be an exaggeration, I'm prone to those, but it's, every time I look out the window, it still looks exactly like this. You see all the little ripples on the pond, the puddle? Guess I'm just gonna have to stay inside, nice and dry and comfortable, in my free apartment that someone gave me. It's funny. It's gonna be a little bit of a ramble. I'm gonna try to keep it less than 15 seconds. When I'm out walking all the time, it's very common for me to crave a little bit of comfort. And then when I get some comfort, it feels overindulgent. And then I crave like being back outside in the elements. So basically I'm impossible to please. Okay, it is now 3 p.m. Looks like it has finally stopped raining, so we're gonna get out of here. The other thing is, I'm amazed how patient Jack is. Most of the time when we've been waiting and I've been packing and editing videos, he just sits there on the ground. He's totally fine with the concept of just waiting for me. I don't understand how something could be so patient. Are we ready? Yeah, we are. We got the keys. We've done some cleaning, tidied up a little. We got the cart all packed up. Got the dog all ready. I even brushed his teeth, which I do like once a week just to keep him looking fresh. Got my apples. That's most of what I eat when I'm on the road. And we're ready to roll. Here in this country, I forgot which one I'm in, Denmark. They don't put stickers on their apples, but they did in Sweden, and I didn't start this immediately, but I genuinely eat mostly apples when I'm on the road. Going that way out of here. Cart is way heavier than it used to be the last 2 days. I hope we don't get rained on too much, but there's a shelter only 7 miles away, so that's kind of what we're gunning for. We'll see what time we get there and if we need to adjust our plans or not. It's my new homies. Yeah, I watched it. That was pretty cool. The guy's name was Teddy. Hi, Teddy, if you're watching. We were underneath that tunnel waiting out the rain, and he walked by and he lives just right next to the tunnel, so he let us just hang out, and his dog got to play with Jack for a while. Better than just waiting under a tunnel in the dark. Forgot Jack's shoes. We didn't want to forget your shoes, did we? This stretch of road is inarguably less interesting than Copenhagen, where literally everywhere you looked, there was something interesting happening with people, moments being created, and as a photographer that's really interesting. Or the buildings were beautiful, or full of history, or both. But for some reason it feels really good just to be like making progress towards this arbitrary goal of walking to Spain. Even though the real goal of walking to Spain is to see the things in between where I am now and where I'm getting. So the brain is kind of dumb. Maybe just mine is. How to survive walking across the world. Find yourself, oh man, that's 1 krona. It's about 15 cents. I'm just kidding. Doing this will not help you survive. You want to eat it? Try it. No interest. I haven't seen these at all, but I've seen multiple today. They look like flower vending machines. It's funny that there'd be suddenly so many of them without having seen any evidence of them previously. Anyway, we're in a town called Brøndby. We're just a suburb of Copenhagen, but it looks pretty industrial, mostly just mass shopping centers and things of that nature. I've shown you those guys before. Apparently one of the traditions they also do is they visit everyone's homes that is in the truck. Be like 20 kids in the back, and they'll take the truck and visit all of their homes one at a time. I think they just have a party at each individual house too. Weird, but pretty. Tell me this isn't one of the most idyllic scenes you've ever seen. But no, really. We're in like the middle of some horse pastures. We're in a shelter, as per usual. I have set up my tent. It's a nice shelter. It's still got that nice orange yellow color of fresh-ish wood, despite some not so nice signs and other graffiti and some trash. But other than that, it's a really nice place. It's a really nice setting. It's a really nice dog. It's really nice apples. It's just a very idyllic setting to find yourself going to sleep in the Danish countryside among the horses in a free shelter on a summer night with your dog. There are worse lives to lead than this one right now. And I feel grateful for that. I'll admit, I almost missed this. I was looking down at my phone trying to sign a contract. And wow, almost missed that. There's another view of our shelter for this evening, right in the middle of all these fields. Pretty cool. That's it for tonight. Good night. One last view of the cool sunset because you're welcome. It's a horse, Jack. It's not coming over the fence. There's a fence. That's sunset. He's just got his little head on my lap. I'm sorry. I already know I already said goodnight, but this is just such a perfect setting. He's got his warm little head on my lap with his body just curled up right there. Just looking out at the window, or out of the scene, napping. And those horses over there are just perfect silhouettes against the sun. Or what's left of it anyway. I just feel really lucky. It's pretty great.